Good evening, America. My name is Alina Habba, and I have had the great privilege of representing President Donald J. Trump. Now, I know you're all used to hearing me shouting outside a courthouse, but tonight, I want to take you behind the law and behind the headlines and share with you a side of President Trump that reveals his character, his kindness, and his commitment to saving this great country. As a devout Catholic, a proud first-generation Arab American woman, and a feisty Jersey girl.
All right, my friends, J.R. Dukes, appreciate you joining me today. You are listening currently to Alina Habba, one of the many attorneys that has been working for Donald Trump, and I believe she has taken an advisory role for former President Donald Trump at this time. And this was her at the RNC rally. And you're about to see her get very emotional. And we're going to talk about the speech itself and exactly why this speech is nothing short of a masterclass in politics that you're about to see from former President Donald Trump.
Who is fed up with far-left corruption in Washington. President Trump championed my journey, empowering me to be who I became today. His unwavering support not only shaped my career, but has inspired other young women with big dreams. President Trump loves this country. He does. And he lifts up those around him. To my children, Luke, Chloe, and Parker, he's the man with one heck of a golf swing that lets them ride in a golf cart with some of the world's most famous golfers so they feel included in mom's job. And by the way, he can kick some of those guys' butts. Ken. To my husband, whose family members have survived the Holocaust, he is a champion of the Jewish faith. To my Iraqi parents, he is a mentor to their daughter. But to me, he is my friend.
Quite a compelling and interesting video from Alina Habba. Her family is quite the mix. I was interested to hear this myself. I did not know this, so it was interesting to hear her shout out her parents and explain a little bit about her backstory, about her personal life, and her comments about President Donald Trump were definitely touching. Again, this was intentional to humanize Donald Trump and to allow him to appeal to voters that might give Donald Trump a second look. Folks, I can only describe this entire situation as what I call Donald Trump 3.0. If you've watched my previous videos, I have discussed Donald Trump 2.0, and now it is definitely Donald Trump 3.0. He is on fire. He has literally given us all a masterclass for generations to come of exactly how a politician should try to change their message to reach other voters, to heal a party, to bring a party together. And we're going to take a small check into some of the things that Donald Trump said during his speech, and I think you're going to find it extremely interesting. Of course, this acceptance speech was the RNC acceptance speech 2024 that was given by President Donald Trump in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. One of the most touching things in this entire speech was right out of the box. He went ahead and he recounted in detail in a way that only Donald Trump can recount something. I mean, I just love the way that he goes into, let's just say he kind of paints with words. So anyone that's good at giving a speech knows exactly how to do this. He has the charisma to do this, and that's exactly what he did. He said that it was simply too painful to keep talking about it, so he wanted to tell us all together collectively one final time exactly what happened on that nearly extremely tragic day. Now, remember, there has been already a loss of life. One former firefighter chief has been killed, and I believe 2 others have been injured, one pretty severely. So we have to keep these individuals in mind additionally. But thank God that we did not lose Donald Trump. And as a matter of fact, Donald Trump in his speech clearly gives praise to and thanks to God Almighty for being there to protect him. I have never heard in my entire life someone being hit with essentially an AR-15 shell that was close enough not to kill him or to injure his skull, yet it was able to affect his ear, essentially blow off the top of his ear. Absolutely stunning. I can't believe it's even real. It seems kind of unreal. As a matter of fact, if you turn over to some of these news stations, such as MSNBC and some of these other whack stations, they'll try to tell you that, again, as we've been told for a long time pertaining to President Joe Biden, you can't believe your lying eyes, that somehow this is staged, it's another deep fake, it's another cheap fake, whatever's going on. These people are loony, but we're not going to get into that. President Trump in this speech also called out the Democrats directly and appealed to their sensitivity. If there is any kind of common sense left in the Democratic Party, he said, we must end this lawfare, period. It must end, and he called upon the Democrats, the Democratic Party, to stop this lawfare for the good of the country. I thought it was a very classy way to say, hey, we need to put the good of our country first and foremost. Obviously, I doubt this is going to happen, but it doesn't matter, folks. It's going to happen one way or the other. One major thing about Donald Trump's speech that he said, and I want to quote him correctly, he said 2 things that are going to happen on day 1 in his administration is drill, baby, drill, and we're going to close our borders. Amen to that. Let's take a look at this speech right now.
As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened, and you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Music was loudly playing and the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily because I was discussing the great job my administration. My friends, delegates, and fellow citizens, I stand before you this evening with a message of confidence, strength, and hope. 4 months from now, we will have an incredible victory, and we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Together, we will launch a new era of safety, prosperity, and freedom for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. The discord and division in our society must be healed. We must heal it quickly. As Americans, we are bound together by a single fate and a shared destiny. We rise together or we fall apart. I am running to be president for all of America, not half of America, because there is no victory in winning for half of America.
This is put in a way that only Donald Trump can put it. He's letting us all know that, listen, I'm just not your president or a Republican president. I want to be president to all of us. And I want to be your president. It's really amazing to see him on the stage. It has not even been a week, technically, since he has been shot by an assassin's bullet, yet he's on the stage trying to strike a tone to let each and every one of us know it's going to be okay. Our better days are ahead, and I am going to be a president for all of us.
So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States. Thank you very much, and we will do it right. We're going to do it right. Let me begin this evening by expressing my gratitude to the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened, and you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Folks, I love this. Only Donald Trump can sit there and tell you about his own attempted assassination and start off, it was a warm, sunny day in Butler, Pennsylvania, almost like you're reading a book. Outstanding, great, fantastic even communication skills you're witnessing right now.
Music was loudly playing and the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily because I was discussing the great job my administration did on immigration at the southern border. We were very proud of it. Behind me and to the right was a large screen that was displaying a chart of border crossings under my leadership. The numbers were absolutely amazing. In order to see the chart, I started to, like this, turn to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear.
Now, of course, that particular photo you were looking at behind President Trump was actually the bullet, they believe, that grazed the president's head and took out his top of his ear. Quite amazing that they were able to get that by happenstance in a photo, but an amazing photo just the same. We are so lucky that our president did not end up dead as a result of this attack on his life. Just absolutely amazing, and definitely had the presence of God in his life. And I'm certain Donald Trump knows all of this all too well. I love the way he tells these stories, the way he communicates. And I just did a video the other day discussing the fact that it's kind of cliquish, I agree, but it is true. And that is that illegal immigration saved Donald Trump's life. And that is because he turned his head to the right, like you just explained, to look at a chart that he was going to show the entire audience pertaining to the ups and downs of immigration. And you can see that same chart behind me in my AI background behind me right now. So that's exactly what he was looking at. And as a matter of fact, he's about to make a joke of what I just said a couple days ago, that illegal immigration saved his life. So here's the president talking about that.
Of America, we're going to do that on day one. That means two things on day one, right? Drill, baby, drill, and close our borders. And by the way, and I think everybody as a Republican, as a patriot in this room, and most Democrats, we want people to come into our country, but they have to come into our country legally. Less than 4 years ago, I handed this administration the strongest border in American history. But you can see on the chart that saved my life, that was the chart that saved my life. I said, look it, I'm so proud of it. I think it's one of the greatest, it was done by the Border Patrol, one of the greatest charts I've ever seen. It showed everything just like that. You know the chart. Oh, there it is. That's pretty good. Wow. Last time I put up that chart, I never really got to look at it. But without that chart, I would not be here today.
Wow, there you go. Isn't that amazing? He could actually make a joke about his own assassination attempt this close to the date that he was almost died as an assassin's bullet. I mean, wow. To me, it's just amazing that he's able to make a joke about it this soon after an assassination attempt. What strength of character. It's just awe-inspiring in my humble opinion. So you heard him make that joke there, that without that chart, he wouldn't be here. And also at the same time, we got what I said at the top of this video was that on day one is going to be drill, baby, drill, and close our borders. He wants to have immigration, but legal immigration, which I think we can all agree with. Folks, we all have to do our part this year. We all have to make sure we get out to the polls, encourage our neighbor and friends to do the same. If you have any friends that are indoctrinated, that's what I'm here for. Put a stop to this indoctrination. Please share this video with one of your indoctrinated family members, friends, whatever. Definitely like to get them on the right path and get the correct information in their hands so they can make an informed choice for themselves. It's really just that simple. If you're still with me, might as well hit the thumbs up button. Please like the video, subscribe so you know when the new videos are coming out. I generally generate videos each and every day. Appreciate you joining me as always. Always like to say, keep that mind free. Never give up. Until next time, my friends, I am J.R. Dukes.